Seeing that we are waiting for Julius, I will have 2 or 3 questions in the meantime. One is like a very loose proposition that you might consider, because I thought about it, but I wasn't ready yesterday. But in case your Saturday campaign is called off, and I don't have anything else, and I potentially could run it, would you be open to the idea of basically playing this game on Saturday in case your Ravenloft campaign is like called off? Or is it something that you don't really wanna do?
I don't mind.
Just something
Unless,
to consider.
unless one of us gets the itch to GM something themselves.
I mean, yeah, this is like very... like, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm just throwing an idea of possibility of doing something like that if there's ever need slash desire slash want to do so.
I don't have a strong opinion either way. I'm just going to leave it in the hands of other people because I hate responsibility.
Okay. Small technical questions. I am assuming at this point Zilol is a medium. He stopped being a big pig. Sinful.
Sure, we'll say that because I don't remember.
I mean, he was big, but I'm guessing like outside of combat, the blood rage, the thing that makes you large, goes off pretty quickly. Because it's
yeah,
rounds
it's
per rounds, not per minutes, right?
It's the extracts last for 2 minutes.
Ah, okay. But yeah, the discussion with the war chief and subsequent, well, sealing the deal definitely took that much time.
I appear to be on 1 HP.
Right, we'll get to that in a moment, because there's a thing that you are technically, or rather Azrak is technically still under the effects of insanity.
Alright.
I recall, but I don't think it was said in-game, or maybe it was, about putting you out of misery. Temporarily, of course.
It'd be really easy right now, potentially.
I mean, I believe the idea was like cut off his head immediately afterwards to stop him from just trying to kill us.
Yeah.
I will probably fold one of you in half.
Yes.
Do we want...
How do I say? Better one person dies than two.
I
I'm
vote
right-
success.
I mean, I'm right next to him as well, so...
It was Success's turn, so...
Oh yeah, that's true. Do it!
Do it! Execute all of them, that's right. Sure.
And one
Roll an
last-
attack roll.
One last thing. I mean, you can do your stuff in the background, but I need to like write things because, right, Zil, you definitely died during that fight, so you will get to pick a vision. And considering what they are about to do with Azrak, then Azrak, I'm pretty sure will also be able to get like a pick a vision.
27 versus AC.
27? Oh, then yes. And that does kill me.
Yeah. I was like, wait a moment, I should probably buff that attack.
Yeah. It's like, that's not gonna kill me.
Right, let's plug that in. Yep. So yeah, if any of them are wondering what the hell's going on, Success goes honor before... well, dishonor. And he stabs him in the back.
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow.
A wise choice.
I'll go with Juggernaut.
That was fitting.
That's where I was gonna go.
Oh dear.
Let me refresh rolls.
Alright. Quick question. Does anyone remember who took the 7 vision? Meaning there was like someone had a vision which showcased 7 different outlines of
Emily?
figures.
I believe that was success.
And did he share that with the others? I can't recall, but I think he did.
No reason not to.
Oh, yeah. All right, Zul. As your soul has drifted for a moment before you attached yourself to somebody else, portion of your mind saw a vision, a recurring phenomenon, one that you are accustomed to, as is the rest of your party, and it begins similarly to what Zixos has described in one of the previous experiences, as in you see 7 varying shadowy silhouettes of different creatures, some of them more humanoid, others definitely not humanoid at all, and you basically pick the one as one of the silhouettes becomes more detailed. Instead of like shadowy silhouette, you can see more details about this creature, and you don't, I'm gonna say it that way, you never heard of its name, but for whatever reason something just tells you that the name of this particular being is Kosulir, and its nickname is the Juggernaut.
The Juggernaut, bitch.
Which is, and I need to like make a quick double check to make sure that I didn't forget particular detail, because I believe that particular servant, or the greater summon, is actually a Glabrezu, but I need to... Fucking hell, where is it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's more about nature stuff. I couldn't really find like a good swamp theme, and I don't have anything specific for the realm of the dead for the visions, because they're usually quick. Yes, you basically see, and I'm gonna say for clarity's sake, you don't have to make a knowledge checks. You recognize outsider, demon, or Glabrezu falls under a demon, not devil, right?
Glabrezu's a devil,
Devil, okay.
I believe.
Brothers are demons.
Oh no, they are
Yeah,
demons.
demons. So you see
They
this...
are wish-granting demons.
So you see this huge demon that is definitely larger than even you at your most ferocious form. And what's worse, that compared to the, well, other members of species that you can find, this one has definitely decided to get good and train, or whatever forced him to take upon the art of combat, especially since he's like very armored. As in, he wears the heaviest, most bulky and thick armor that not compared, that connected with its own durability as the devil kind, makes it a very ferocious and tough enemy to fight. In terms of like actually hitting it. And you also see, I think, one other thing you would notice as you observe this creature as it stalls throughout an unspecified land that you cannot really pick of any particular details. Uh, that it wears a wicked, huge weapon. Imagine a hammer of some sort, or perhaps you might have heard a name of a weapon once in the past, Earthbreaker. So this humongous weapon, and you feel that if that creature manages to strike you, the gold golem hurt. Like, it really hurt you when it struck you, but you think it would be nothing compared to the strike from this particular juggernaut. That, I believe, would be all, unless if you wish to inquire about like mechanical detail, for example, like its AC or its damage from its Earthbreaker weapon. You may attempt to peer deeper, rather spot that particular detail, but that would require a skill check. If you are interested. If not, then essentially the vision would have ended. So it's your call.
I'm good.
Right. Okie dokie. I need to. So Juggernaut has been used.
Quick question about the terrain of the southern areas. Is it plains or grasslands?
I'm gonna put you in a map for a moment. Question. I need to like. To your question, I need to ask another one. What do you mean by saying southern lands? Do you mean like southern portion of this?
Past the crossing, past the cult fortress.
Okay, so this central land, it's definitely no grasslands. There's very little plains area from what you have heard. It's definitely more hilly, more mountainous area. Very little plains, no grasslands. The land even further down south, it's different matter altogether. There are some forests, but it's mainly plains and grasslands.
Alright. Since I get another favorite terrain pick, so I'm wondering if I should pick mountain, including hills, or forest.
I mean, forest seems like it'll be more likely to show up, but mountains probably are more dangerous.
Mountain it is.
Alright. And regarding visions, I have this similar question to Axelrak. Cursed, okay. Alright. Okay, so similarly, fuck's sake, the vision begins as what Zixos has described, as in you see several different silhouettes, but then one of them starts coming more into your vision. You are able to pick up more detail as the creature is stalking somewhere, slowly, leisurely almost, but you can't really pick any details where or when. The vision is focusing on the creature itself, and some deep gut portion of your being tells you that you know that this is another one of these greater summons or servants that are wielding quite a scary amount of power. And the cursed one is about Drakkar, the cursed. Okay. Now, this one doesn't look as nearly as devilish as Labrezu. However, there are clearly he is more definitely humanoid, but you can also see and feel the touch of hells of fiendish blood within its bloodstream. Doesn't look as hard to hit as the Juggernaut, however he definitely looks like someone that can survive a lot in a fight. As for his weapon, you see that it's carrying a greatsword that looks again pretty wicked and fearsome, even though the greatsword, you imagine its name is like Meat Cleaver. Yeah, it's basically a mix of brutal pugilist barbarian and brawler fighter, utilizing beast totems to enhance his strength. Oh, as I see, actually, for just a moment, the scene changes just a little bit, and then you see that, surprisingly, out of all the, like, this particular summon is the one that can, assuming you, like, advance in your strength. This is like the bar and challenge in regards to grappling. Because, for example, this fucker has improved Savage Grapple, amongst other things. So he can also do grappling stuff. Oh, and the most important thing, why is it called the cursed? You see that its soul, the creature, the soul's creature, is broken. That's the shortest way it can be described. Its physical body, there's like a mass of scarring tissue, and its soul, it's been shattered like a broken mirror and then stitched up like a Humpty Dumpty. So essentially it has like a broken soul template.
Alright then.
Yeah, I believe that's all of it. And quick question to Isaac. Do you have any reaction at all whatsoever after you get back up in regards to Zixos, or is it like, no, I get you, fam?
Yeah. I appreciate that he took me out so I didn't start murdering my allies. I will give the small little green thing a pat on the head. And I say that right as he gets back so he doesn't know what I did. Hmm?
Miss.
I'll be right back.
All right.
Are you okay, Donut?
Huh? What?
Are you okay?
What do you mean? If am I okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
You look half dead.
Because there's no light in my room.
Yeah, you're just staring forward at like this soulless stare at like looking like you've like been done with the life for the last 20 years.
Let me just turn on my lights.
It's just like he looks kind of like there's nothing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Donut, are you okay? Are you okay, Donut?
Well, I only have one response to that, and that is knife.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
Knife!
The war chief, seeing how you basically heal, air quotes, your companion, as like, just gives another like interesting way of healing someone from throes of madness. But
Better
now
than
that
dishonor himself.
The trick, War Chief, is that I'm always mad.
Dun dun dun, as he rises from the dead.
As he's like, his body stands up and grabs his head and puts it back on.
Sounds like an abstract moment.
impressive. But now that you have fair and square won the challenge against the gold golem, and you have proven yourself to be the more worthy side to be following. Well then, what's the first order of business? What is the enemy that we are to march against? After all,
Quick huddle, you guys.
there's fight to be had, right?
Of course. We've fought every single day since we came here.
Right, quick huddle, guys. As Chirk
No, I
motions
just
over.
need to see the big map because I know where to send them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the question you
I
have
just need to see the
you
world
have to
map.
answer
Yeah.
because, well, you don't have contact with the main base, and, well, you are the ones that are in position to decide.
First, I'll ask the chief if he has a map of his area, so if we can tell if they know where those two are, or any other targets around.
Yeah, mind you, you do not know exact location of the...
I'm asking
Oh, okay.
the lizard war chief if he knows
Sorry?
like, of any
I
targets. I'm
I
asking
didn't
the
understood
lizards.
at first.
Yeah,
Alright.
they know. Basically, I'm asking them for local map information first. Update what our scouts have given us.
Yeah. That would be like that. The gist of what he's saying is that while they don't have too much written down information, most of their knowledge is passed down through oratory means. But there are some of the lizard folk that have like a solid knowledge. That said, most of it is focused on the immediate surroundings, so the swamplands. They are aware that there are other beings, creatures living in the mountain range, especially the frost giants. But seeing that their lands were not being raided from the mountains, and well, apparently not the details, but the terms of the previous alliance, if we can call it that way, kinda didn't, not implied, fucking hell, I'm missing out a lot of words, didn't force them to really act much or expand outside of their area of influence. Let's say they have seen definitely combat, but nothing that would out of ordinary, I would say.
How aquatic are they living in a swamp?
Uh, Lizard folk. I would say that they are definitely. Yeah, they do have swim speed, so.
Then I would ask them to attack the crossing and take the cult fortress there.
Open the gates for us, and we'll do the rest.
Open the gates.
Or even we show up and our distraction as they hit them from behind.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we're better at that point.
That is a good point.
And I just bring a one-man battering ram to their gate. Before you say anything, yes, that is an actual weapon you can buy, is a battering ram.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I would have expected nothing less.
Don't worry, we show up with a siege tower instead.
Now,
I mean,
now we're in Dynasty Warriors level of weaponry.
I'm already at that point with my giant ass gauntlets.
Ripping and tearing into them.
And being able to fold creatures in half, or other creatures that have what they need to have at the very least like 40 CMD or slightly less than that to have a chance.
My bonus is I think 25.
Oh, okay, so
Check real
like
quick.
26 if they are very lucky.
22 to grapple.
For whatever reason, I thought it was slightly higher.
That's because I don't actually have any of the grapple feats.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, as
Which
we are
is what I'm working on next.
very well. So yeah, as we essentially describe the journey there, the war chief, who by that point in time, I would imagine he would have introduced himself as Salar. He would have. Well then, it's been a while since our tribe had to take a journey like that, but... And then he does the motion with his neck, and he does the... like his bones crack, like in preparation of psyching himself up. But it's been a long while since the lands here remembered our might and fury. And it will be a good thing to remind those who are still alive in this madness that we are to be feared and respected.
Like double, suggest like good double thumbs up.
Think of it this way. We wanderers are few but powerful, yes. And I'd be willing to admit that the cultists overall, their forces they have arrayed are definitely stronger than us. On a large scale. Think of the glory and honor that one can achieve for their tribe by overcoming such odds. As we rip them apart piece by piece.
Yes,
Metaphorically,
indeed.
of course, as I do like a thing with my claws. Never mind the fact that I've already ripped them pieces from piece for piece before. Literally.
Yep. So yeah, he he does the best impression of you speaking my language, and then he just like a bloodthirsty grin. Well then, I will ensure that the tribe is ready to move out as soon as possible, and then we shall march, and earth shall tremble wherever we will pass.
I imagine it will be a glorious sight.
We'll make it so. Oi, kinsmen! We are preparing for war! As he like roars to the rest of the village. As for you, let it not be said that the Glinskate tribe does not reward rightful bouts of command. Does not reward shows of pure martial strength, as there will be many more glorious battles awaiting you. It will be for the best for you to stand on your feet for few moments longer to kill more enemies. And if that's said, one of his underlings will present to you 10 potions of cure moderate wounds for the entire party. So if you want to spread it out that each one of you takes 2, or if you want to spread it differently, it's up to you. And it's only +2 because it's based off shaman spell level.
Oh yeah, here.
Oh, nice.
It would have to be +3 in a minimum though, because Cure Moderate Wounds is a 2nd level spell, and you'd have to be cast level 3 to cast it.
So 2d8 plus 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I assumed it. Oh, okay, yeah, right. I just went with the.
Understandable. Have a good day. All right. So
I understand making it less because it's tribal shamans, but like it literally can't be lower than +3. I guess. No, because even alchemists
I mean,
would get it at 4.
it might
so
just
it'd
be like
2d8 plus
4
2.
construction or something like that.
Yeah, it can be +2 if you want, though. You are the DM.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, let's stick with +2. That is not +3 because there's like some. This is not the best quality.
Oh dear.
After all, they are not a tribe of healers. They have some medical supplies, but well, they have a different outlook on things. Alright, so yeah, in terms of loot, that's the thing that tribe offers you.
Nice.
And
Although Churk isn't the most best at the doing mechanical creatures, would he be able to gather something up from the gold giant?
Gold.
I mean, fuck yeah, let's just get as much gold as we can and bring it back to camp with us. Could we just have Zilla just drag the golem out as we leave?
I believe the mechanical term was the golem just melts.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that's the thing. Oh, it's not even that I deny loot. It's just it's a mechanic of its death throws. That gold
Oh.
golem melts into worthless slag when destroyed.
All
I
right.
mean, not you denying loot, but the game designers.
So the golem melts into worthless slag, so we go up and look at it. It's like, fuck! This golem was made of pyrite!
As I said, it was just a
This
thin
is
coating
fool's
of
gold.
gold. A thin coating of gold and just steel beneath. That's why it was so tough.
It all makes sense now.
This is just gold-plated mithril. We've been fooled. This is worthless. But yeah. Didn't hurt to ask. So,
Yeah.
I guess we head back to report then.
As you are gathering, prepare. Or I mean that's the question. Just to be completely sure. Because two of you are not fully healed, so I imagine. So the question is, do you like travel as you are right now, or do you take a while to rest?
I'd say we'd probably take a while to rest,
Mm,
as we, have usually done.
we will rest and feast upon the lizardmen. I mean, their food.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, to be fair, yes. I'm kidding. Not all lizard people are cannibals.
No, but cook them good enough that they'll taste good.
All I'm saying is because they don't eat other lizard people, so it's technically not cannibalism.
I'm so glad we're having this conversation.
So if a cannibal eats a cannibal, does that still make them a cannibal?
Yes. Well,
Yes,
no.
but there's
it
one
depends
less
on the
cannibal.
species. It depends on the species of the cannibal. Because cannibalism is specifically eating your own species.
Oh, this hurts my head too much. This logic we're going with. Ugh.
Well, after Aztec and Zillows had this riveting discussion, I think we head out.
Yeah.
While we do that, I'm going to run down and make some coffee real quick, but I can still hear you.
Very well.
I would probably before we leave. I'm guessing if we do a short rest or something.
Yeah, Pathfinder doesn't have distinction between short and long rest.
Yeah.
Damn it!
It,
I keep
it's just
forgetting.
long.
Not unless we're mythic, and then we can spend a point of mythic to rest for an hour and get a full 8 hours rest.
That's just a long rest with a caveat.
With extra steps.
Would ask them if there are any pyrohydras nearby. You see, I show my pyrohydra scales and the single flames I have left. My supplies are running short.
That's a mighty hunt, but pyrohydras are not known to live in swampy lands. They're more like... Actually, would they even know? Actually, you will have more luck finding them in a desert or volcanoes or nearby volcanic mountains.
Alright.
But yeah, those of you that were injured, you can heal yourself up to full, as you essentially spend several hours in the village that itself is preparing for to move out. You see that they are gathering most of their supplies and items of wharf. Many of the lizard folk are conducting drills, like legit drills. Maybe not the same as you would expect from other armies you have seen, but drills nonetheless. As you have, I mentioned at the start, you have met them. They might look like savage barbarians, but in terms of combat, they definitely go for a little bit extra. But despite the fervor in which they take up their preparations, it's not like they do only this during your stay throughout the... Actually, you'll be probably leaving towards the either very late evening, night, or before dawn. So definitely we'll have a chance that maybe fearsome warriors, but they do not forget about their responsibilities as hosts. So there's like a huge bonfire, there's a feast,
Woot!
and even though if you eat food, it's mostly for, it essentially is for flavor, as being who you also do not require food nor water for sustenance.
Can we get the inebriated or?
What now?
Um,
I don't know the word in English.
Drunk. And yes, because we're not. Oh, unless you're immune to poisons.
Alright.
Oh yeah, there's that very weird rule that yes, we are. Alcohol does count as poison.
Which is hilarious, because that means that paladins can neither get drunk nor catch STDs. They are literally
Yes.
the party animals.
Right, so I'm going to challenge some of the lizard men to a drinking contest.
Yes, I imagine they have very nasty moonshine.
they have the scrapple special.
Yeah, considering what ingredients they could find in the swamp, yeah, their alcohol, homebrewed of course, hits very strongly.
Alright, does anybody else want to join in the contest?
Or
Nero will not.
Sazerac just joins and loses before, it really starts.
I mean,
just joins and just falls over drunk just from the set.
I mean, whoever wishes to participate, okay, the basic is not that high. You may roll fortitude saving throws, and the one with the highest essentially was the... And now I realize that Zil probably would have any drinking contest in a bag. Considering his fucking silly bonus to fortitude.
You can net one it. Which is an auto fail with saves.
Usually yes, but I'm pretty sure we have decided a few sessions back that we are not doing the nat ones on saving throws.
I honestly feel like Azrak did in fact not got into a fist fight and got himself knocked out after like fighting a bunch of lizard folk, and that's why Cherrick did slightly better with one more drink.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Sherrick really did win by one, holy fuck. What a mad lad.
So I imagine Nero is not taking part in such a plebeian entertainment.
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess so.
I'm just
If it's-
imagining the chief face chugging down by the barrel.
Yeah, something like that. Out of curiosity, Zixos, what is your bonus to fortitude? Because I'm just like very idly curious if you have a chance of beating Axrak or Chiriok. +1. With not 20, he would have equaled Axrak, but yeah. Yeah, the smell is too much. Very well. So, after a bit of resting and partying, as the tribe itself prepares to move out, and mind you, they will try to move as quickly as possible, but considering what you have seen, they are quite large tribe. And of course, not every one of them is scaled soldiers, so not like probably the most elite, or rather the most experienced troops, were part of this village, the innermost portion of the tribe. And the surrounding villages, this entire city like on a swamp, having hundreds or thousands of other lizard folk, they're the basic generic ones, I would say. But still, in total, they will definitely prove to be a ferocious force, and a large one, enough to make like a difference. And then you leave the site of Greenscale tribe, and you begin your journey as per the plan before, back towards the monastery, from where you'll be able to teleport to point Aquila, and from there go to the we'll see when, because you know that even if they move very quickly, you are still much quicker than them with banner of swiftness and your movement rates. So you kind of have to expect that the tribe, it would take them, without doing too many detailed calculations, like at the very least several days to get to the crossing. In short, it definitely take them longer than you guys would have done this. And my question is, which path do you take to the monastery? Do you decide to go the most straightforward one, so through the mountains, or
Going this way along the coast, then up to the monastery seems like our best bet, and probably the fastest.
Yeah, agreed.
Yep.
Very well. As you begin your journey, crossing through the forestry coastline areas, before you get to roll as usual for survival, you definitely notice a change, or rather this was something that was progressively becoming more and more apparent. The first signs you have already seen from the day you have arrived on this land, but it was sporadic, like an odd difference there and here and there. But Cheruk and the others, if you were taking observing your surroundings, you've definitely seen the change progressing throughout the weeks, and now it's not like there's an odd flower or weird plant that might have been transplanted from another plane. It's the general structure of the biomes, a forest is still a forest. That's the feeling you get. But the smells, the colors, the specific fuck, I'm blanking on a word. Gatunek po angielsku. The specific types of plants and animals that would have normally existed in this climate, they are all fucked up. They are all wacky.
It's almost like they've been displaced here.
That was the case at the start, but now you would feel that with whatever is going on and with the amount of ambient energy that is being gathered and the fact that this place is a dimensional nexus, the lines between dimensions, between planes, are becoming more blurry. So that's why the material plane, the physical realm that you are in, is being warped and adjusted. So this is like a continuous process, obviously combined with occasional extreme weather phenomena or just straight up weird weather phenomena like rain falling not from up to down but from down to up, like kind of like a reverse gravity, just for example. But yeah, Sharuk with 23 survival, going through slightly...
25.
25.
House.
Yeah, that would have been kind of like a jungle area, I would say. So taking definitely a safer path. You are able to avoid, yeah, with any of the stuff that's happening, with slightly increased this, yeah, that's, you still are able to clear it. And out of curiosity, oh, okay. So,
Hello? Yeah.
Ah.
Oh.
well,
Hello?
Hey.
What's up?
I don't know, Simon, can you hear us? Because I'm not sure if you
Yeah, I
like
can
have
hear you.
some technical issues.
No, I can hear you.
Okay, so night time, you're gonna have like a actually a pleasant encounter, I would say. So traveling here, I'm gonna put you on a more tropical area. So the feeling that the borders between dimensions are becoming even thinner, you kinda didn't expect for that to happen, but as you are traveling, then seemingly out of the blue, close by to your location, I would say within 30 feet, you see a portal opening up, and it's not like a violent like rip in reality. In fact, it on the outskirts of it, you see flowing magical energy forming into runes. The structure seems to be as stable as possible. And stepping through it, you see an older gentleman, one wearing like a big fancy hat that obviously has like a an aura of
It's Gandalf.
grandfatherly.
Does he carry a sword and level 20 is a fighter?
Sword, no. However, he definitely, like, even if you are completely ignorant about magic, this guy definitely seems like a spellcaster to you. In fact, as he steps through, essentially you can make me, and it's in this case it's this or, because you will be able in this short moment of time focus on either one of the things. So either you can roll perception to basically pick out what's happening behind him, but because there's stuff happening on the other side of the portal, or the different check you can make. As I mentioned, it's either or. It's I would say knowledge arcana or spellcraft, whatever is the highest, to figure out what type of magic user this guy is.
Okay. Let's have a look. So it was either spellcraft or arcana, you said.
Yeah, to identify what type of magic user this person is.
I'd be very surprised if I somehow surpass Ad's work there, but I don't think I will.
Turns out I actually
Oh, there
am
we go.
good at spellcraft.
I've got a 16 in both.
Apparently,
just
you know
realized.
what spell he cast and what kind of spellcaster he is at once. Both know.
Alright. So starting from who he is, the spectral visage of a creature floating nearby him gives like the biggest hint that this actually is a summoner. More than that, you are also able to tell during these few moments that this particular one has, because I would say that in your travels or experiences you have learned about the basics of being a summoner, you know, having an eidolon and the such, but you're also aware with those checks that there's a type of summoner that abandons having only a single eidolon and instead pursues an ability to summon more creatures, essentially command, maybe not being exactly like one-man army, but definitely being able to suddenly turn the tides, even if he found himself outnumbered.
Oh god.
And most of these creatures, this is for Cheruk and Zixus that rolled perception, they are fighting on the other side. And you see that they are fighting in a way that this is clearly a holding pattern. Just enough so that whoever else, if it's there, because you clearly throughout the portal you do not have a vision on the entire battlefield, but they are clearly there to buy time, not only for the summoner in question, that doesn't exactly look worse for wear in terms of injuries, but now that you look at him, yes, mechanically you do not get... Actually, no, I do think you still can get fatigued or exhausted unless you have specifically immunity to this condition. But you definitely see a sign of wariness in this person. Not really from age, but from the fact that, well, he had to do something for quite a while that was really tedious.
Strenuous.
Yes, strenuous. Constant combat for the past few weeks
Each.
tends to do that for you. Yeah, because while your base was not the only one that was under high pressure, and him and his friends were very busy.
Well, I
And-
believe this guy is part of the Eternal Wanderer, no?
Yes, I
Mm.
was gonna say that. I think also with the perception checks, you are able to see that on his golden staff, and you actually notice two things. On his golden staff, you see the engraved symbol of the guild, and also somehow as the summoner is walking through the portal, and there's like a gust of wind kind of flowing through his impressive beard. Somehow we are able to spot like a shimmer of a silver pendant underneath that beard, and that pendant also has a symbol of the guild.
Well, time to rush to his aid.
Let's go.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
we're coming up to him,
Like-
he hello. So his screen was. It's good to have confirmation that Ulfgar's crying is as reliable as ever. And then as he makes like a movement with his staff, and the portal behind closes. So cutting off whatever enemy might have followed.
So I'm guessing all the rest that brought him the time followed with him.
Sorry if you misunderstood my description, but he managed to step through, and his summons were holding the line on the other side of the portal. So
Oh, his summons. Oh, okay.
yeah, no hostiles managed to pass through.
I thought there were like other guild members.
Well then,
No, it's only him.
you all right?
Alright.
Success says, waving at him. Mm-hmm.
I am a little bit wary, Master Goblin, but I'll have to endure, as all of us. My apologies for dropping in unannounced, but the situation. Go ahead.
We've been looking for you. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I was informed of that, and seeing that the situation at Point Celsus has become problematic, to say the least, and the decision has been made to sadly abandon the area to give ground and regroup at other locations, while my companions and friends assess the guild in other matters, I have decided to intercept you, as it has reached my ears that you are indeed looking for me. Now, my apologies, Master Goblin. I probably was informed about this, but to say the least, the last few weeks have been most strenuous. As I imagine you also had your own fair share of challenges to overcome. So I might not entirely remember the particular reasons for why you were seeking me out. If you will be so kind to refresh my memory.
Well, first of all, I'm not Mr. Goblin. I'm Success, greatest disciple of your moonlight. And secondly, we've been seeing all of these summoning circles and shit and stuff all around the place, wondering where they lead. Master, yes. I'm wondering where they lead, as you're the big man when it comes to these summoning. So we were wondering if you would know what they were doing exactly and could perhaps help us stop them. Now we've learned a bit more of them since then, but you might still know more than what we've learned. As Success briefs him on the summoning circles we found in that ice cave, the ones we found since then. This big summoning thing that's happening. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I see. Also, to like save a little bit of time, I'm gonna say that seeing that he was actually like safe part of your guild, so you can do walk and talk. Obviously, not with that high speed as before, but he can move you at a leisure pace and exchange information. Yes, now I recall, I was vaguely informed about bits and pieces of this. I dearly would have liked to investigate it more, but the beachhead that our guild had in the northeastern portion of this land was almost under constant siege, and I was extremely occupied for most of that time, even if I believe there was a scout or two that managed to find something familiar in there as well. Well, yes, you are right in one way that amongst those that managed to survive and are still present in this expedition, I deal with the summoning the most. And this is most troublesome and most worrying, I will admit. And you see him that he's clearly thinking, very deeply calculating what it can mean, what are the hypotheticals, what are the possibilities. And just so you know, I can't really do like a good like grandfatherly old voice that speaks with measured tones, but essentially that's the tone. I just like can't get it.
It's fine.
Right. I believe you have managed to uncover the most important pieces of the puzzle, the fact that there is a ritual of some kind happening here. And the servants themselves, these summons, they are not the end goal, they are merely a tool to achieve the end goal. To propagate this slaughter, this carnage, to amass the sacrifices needed for... That's the question. In normal circumstances, summoning a being like that would have been an end goal on its own, seeing that they usually require a stupid amount of power to bring forth to this realm and sustain them even for a couple of minutes or an hour. I will admit, despite my specialties and strengths, I don't believe I would have been able to bring forth one that for a prolonged period of time. Not to mention there's an issue of actually getting what you want. Apologies for presuming, but judging from your weaponry and equipment, I do not take that you are spellcasters yourselves, even if you possess necessary knowledge. As I said, I do not want to presume.
They must have taught me about spellcraft, but not enough to do it.
Spellcasters have their merits in combat, but It is not the honorable way of my people.
It is the way of magic is not a path I have chosen.
The reason I asked was that so I can explain. Normally, when I summon creatures from other planes, and that is a different tangent and interesting question altogether, seeing that on one hand we are cut off from the outside world and no one can teleport back to our main headquarters. Believe me, there are those who tried and the experience was not pleasant. And even then, I am able to bring forth creatures from different realms, but I always have control what type of being I want to bring. Of course, there are typical magical regions and whatnot, but with these greater summons, with these servants, you can never be too sure. You can limit potential risk or limit a chance by performing a ritual to your best ability, to have like a masterfully engraved summoning circle. But your best preparation might not be enough. Well, unless you have regions. Oh, and speaking of which, I don't believe you were lucky enough to actually stumble upon something that would constitute as a regent, as a summoning focus. Out of character, I don't believe you did.
Well,
Not
all
that-
you guys have
not-
is this cursed ring I'm wearing, but oh, that's gonna help.
Well, we did find that god spawn egg. Don't think that's a regent.
No, we just found a bunch of summoning circles.
Very well. Having a